This is a short video explaining how your AW1 test was marked. So first of all, you'll see there's a mark out of 10 for gradient. That means 5 marks for this gradient going from dark to light, and 5 marks for this gradient going from dark to light. What I was looking for was a close match to the boxes above, or clearly going or getting lighter each time until we have completely white. I was also looking for a nice smooth shading technique using the side of your pencil and clean edges, no scribbles. Someone who's taken their time over it and built up that layer of tone nice and evenly and gradually. Same down here, it should go gradually from dark to light. There shouldn't be a little dark bit here and then just light. It gradually goes from dark to light so that your mid-tone's somewhere in the middle, completely white here and as dark as you can get over here. There were 10 marks for each of the forms, and if you shaded the forms the way they were shaded here, then you got good marks. I didn't mind if you changed the direction of light as long as the light direction was marked on your test and I could tell where the highlight was, the mid-tone and the dark tone. Basically what I was looking for in the sphere and the cone was a gradual change from dark to light, so using this technique here, and one that made it look three-dimensional, one that looked like the light was wrapping around the shape, not tone that made the shape look flat and not three-dimensional. So 10 marks for each of those, and that gave you a total of 40 for the first page. On your second page then, first exercise, you had to look very carefully at the arrows and you wanted to go from dark to light. So this direction here, it's pointing from left to right. That means we start dark on the left hand side and we go to light on the right hand side. If you got your directions right, then you would have got 3 marks out of 3 for that. But there was a total of 10 marks for this exercise, so there was another 7 marks available for the quality of your shading. And again, if your shading was as good as it was on the first page, if it was as good as this on the first page, then you could get up to 7 marks. So really, really dark going to really light, and nice clean edges, no scribbles. Exercise number 2 then, there were a total of 10 marks for it, but I've broken it down into giving marks for the right direction of light, the right areas of light, medium and dark based on where the light was coming from, and then the quality of your shading. So first of all, let's think about the direction of light. If the light's coming this way, then this is our light area, this is our medium area, and this is our dark area. And if I could see that on your cube, then I would have ticked, and ticked each side of the cube. If one part of your cube was wrong, then I would have put a little X at that side of the cube. So you'll be able to see which sides of your cube, or which faces of your cube you shaded correctly, and which you didn't shade correctly. Second cube then, light's coming down on the top and from the left hand side. So the top of the cube is light, the left hand side is medium, and the right hand side is dark. There were a total of 4 marks available for getting the right sides of the cube, the right tonal value. That leaves 6 marks then for the quality of your shading. Again, nice even layers of tone built up slowly, and nice clean edges. no scribbles. Okay, cross hatching. There were a total of 10 marks available for your cross hatching, and all you had to do was copy the exercise above it, so the example above it. What I was looking for was nice parallel straight lines like so. Your second layer, then you go a second direction. Your third box over here, you do it the same, but you add a third direction. Your fourth box over here, you add a fourth direction. Your fifth box, then you add a fifth direction. Now, the successful ones, I should still be able to see all of my lines. So you need a sharp pencil for that to work right. I didn't like to see big gaps like that. I didn't like to see lines that were kind of wobbling like that or inconsistent in any way. So that's what we were looking for there. Fourth one, then, there were 3 different forms. You were asked to draw and shade, and you were asked to mark the light direction. So you needed to do those 3 things to get the total of 10 for each form. Okay, so you may have thrown away marks. So I've marked my light direction on here. Might even put a little L there just to show that that's the light. And I haven't shaded these on my example one, so that you can see how I've split them up. You might want to go back if you lost marks on this area. You might want to go back and watch the videos on how to draw and shade a cone, a sphere, and a cube. So cones must have a rounded base, not a flat base, and that would make it a triangle. You might want to split it up then into sections that converge at the top of the cone. But do be careful when we're shading. You know, you might start out by shading it like that, but we then want to go back and gradually blend those layers together so that in the end you can't see the lines. That's what we're looking for on the cone, and it's exactly the same on the sphere. I've drawn these lines to divide the circle up into a light, medium and dark area, but when I shade, I don't want to see the lines. The lines should disappear and it should gradually go from dark to light. The cube then, I was looking for parallel lines. So these 3 lines are parallel. These 3 lines are parallel. And these 3 lines are parallel. They're all roughly the same length. If it's a true cube, then they're exactly the same length. And the light direction should correspond with what areas are light, dark, and medium. A nice even shading, like here. So on this page then, we have 10 marks for this, 10 marks for this, but remember I've broken it up into marks for shading and marks for going the right direction, marks for shading and marks for the right areas being light, medium and dark, and a mark out of 10, and then 10 for each of these. That gives a total of 60. So somewhere at the bottom of the page you will see a mark out of 60 in a circle. That's for the whole page. 60 for this page. 40 for this page. And then what I will have done is given you a mark out of 100 on this page, and I'll have written total. That mark is your total mark for the whole paper. Remember, assessment window 1 is made up of this paper here and some of your other work as well. So your final AW1 grade is not this, or your final AW1 percentage is not this. This is just part of it. Please go through your paper carefully, find out where you've made your mistakes, and then fill in the feedback section in your drawing workbook.